So sizing scales. In order for the development team to do the estimation, it is always required by them to scale the user stories which they are working on various scales. So development team can use the t-shirt sizing, which can be XS, S, medium, large, and XL. So suppose if you are trying to add few IDs and credentials or some few labels to the current view, that can be a user story. In that case, that can be a very small user story, can be estimated an effort of access in terms of t-shirt sizing. So development team needs to articulate and clearly call out that what is an overall effort for working on that user story. So these t-shirt size should be converted into the respective numeric story points so that they can be worked upon. So it helps people to be more accustomed to using the story points. And as we say, the teams may wish to start with a simple size scale and then they convert those t-shirt size into the numeric story points. So access can be as small as 5 points, small can be 10 points, medium can be 20, large be 40, and Excel can be 80 points. So anything which is really large, you can always assign say 40 or 80 points to these kind of things. So that's in a nutshell about the sizing scale which the development team can start using this across. So now let's talk about planning poker. So planning poker is one of the registered trademark of Mountain Goat Software LLC. So there are various organizations specifically who have started using and thinking of doing the effort estimation based on this planning poker technique. So planning poker uh, technique is more of a modified Fibonacci series. So if you see all the development teams, they were given the cards starting from size 0 to half, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 20, 40, and 100. Also, in addition to that, there are two more cards. The one card is having question mark and the second card have a value infinite to it. So the question mark card basically says, or if any development or any developer, if for any user story, if we put across the question mark card, it means that there's not enough information which is available for him to do the relative sizing. So all these cards, these Fibonacci series cards are there with the respective developers and development team. And when the product owner starts taking each and every story out from the product backlog, they start asking question, and then they start assigning the values to these user stories. So as I said, 0 and half are not used as a user story, or if they are used, they refers to a effort which is too small and it won't impact the overall team velocity. So suppose if you have to do a very minor tweak or a very less customization, so you can say select then 0 or half a card. So which means that practically it will not impact the overall velocity for doing the work. So the cards 20, 40, and 100, they were set as a final point. So what it means that any story points which are relatively big in terms of the effort, the team put these cards of say either 20, 40, or 100. As we discussed, the question mark card is used when the team feels that there's no enough information which is available for them to do the relative sizing. So they can always put the question mark card, and the product owner can provide more information for that user stories. Uh, a development team can put the infinity card if they consider the overall work which is required to be done in the user story is too much. So what it means that the user story which is there in the product backlog, it has not been broken down subsequently, right? So it is at a high level, so that user story should be broken down so that the effort estimation can happen. So if the development team put infinity as an effort, so that says the work is too large for them to assess and should be broken down further into the manageable chunks of user stories.